Update. I'm Cassie.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Christina.
And you are not sped up. I've just had 2 cups of coffee.
Woo! Ooh, me too.
Yeah, another spectacular episode of MILF Manor.
Yes.
This one went deep. We had father-son bonding.
Yeah.
And,
I think
it's emotional.
We might need to make this a series on Patreon for those that are interested. Because I can imagine people who are like, not interested or like you're starting a third but
please stop talking about it.
This is just the way it's going to be because this is our pre-recording ritual now. Listen, this is what's on the mind.
Somebody has reached out to us already and said they've started watching MILF Manor because of us, and I am so sorry.
We also had somebody reach out in our Instagram DMs and say that they watched Beautiful Disaster, which was our last Tainted Love movie.
And I was so mad.
I should say
they turned it off halfway through.
Yes.
I'm like, listen, we told you not to.
Not even halfway through, a third of the way through. They were like, I turned it off at 28 minutes.
Yeah.
I was like, that sounds
that's appropriate. That's only
I was
fair.
like, were you watching it by yourself? Yes, of course. Yeah,
no.
you can't.
You gotta turn that off.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
need.
sorry.
Life is too short.
Oh yeah.
Well,
don't finish the book. Don't finish the show.
Yeah, if
do
you're
what
not
you want.
it,
if you're not into it, you got to move on. You gotta go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
not enjoying that date, leave.
Of Tainted Love movies that we've done, our next movie is Challengers.
Yes.
Which is Christina's pick, which I'm very excited about.
I'm excited, except I'm also nervous that I'm going to have to spend like $40 to watch it.
Yeah, no, I'll have to see. I had to look up to see if it's going to be out in time for us to watch it. I think it does go to streaming.
Oh, okay.
I think
yeah,
it will.
Yeah.
But I am actually excited about it. I know Cassie's hesitant about I have heard that it is very tennis forward. So sorry. No, you're not a big tennis.
I love a sports movie, a good one.
I love a good sports movie.
I do too.
I will say that like of sports, the 2 sports that and we know that I'm the sports girl here. I'm the sports caster of the group.
Yeah.
The 2 sports that I enjoyed the least are tennis and basketball.
It's don't
too much
enjoy sports
noises
at all, but sports movies
Agree.
in general.
I can get hyped about anything on a sports movie.
Oh, yeah.
Just give me a Hoosiers,
Even
and
golf,
I don't like why.
Even a golf movie. I can even get on board with Listen,
Tin Cup. I mean,
there you go.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like golf. I can actually. It's the side shit that I don't like. It's the of
what?
like of
tennis. The sex noises.
I fucking hate
Dude,
tennis noises.
Dude, watch a match between Rafael Nadal, who is one of the hottest people of all time.
Is he a tennis player?
I get
Yes.
it. No.
I'm on board.
I'm looking him up right now.
I'd have to watch it on silent.
Roger Federer was hot too.
I feel like I love a good upper thigh. Like that's why I like a hoochie daddy short. And I feel like tennis players have great thighs.
I need you to see.
You want to come walk with me over by the tennis courts?
I do.
I take Rose for a walk.
Bring my popcorn. I'll be like, you take her for a few laps. I'll be right here.
Yeah. BRB. Yeah, no, he's hot.
Hot.
No
Christina's
question.
showing us a picture.
Listen, no question. Do not enjoy watching tennis. I think I said golf. I meant tennis. I hate watching tennis. It's literally my least favorite sport to watch.
It's not my least favorite sport to watch. I don't know what I would
actually. I don't like basketball, and it's the squeak.
I hate watching golf.
I hate
watching golf.
I don't mind watching.
I don't
golf.
like boxing.
Oh, I hate that. I don't like watching people get hurt.
That said, am I going to watch Mike Tyson murder Jake Paul? Literally commit homicide on Netflix?
Yes.
I feel like
Mike Tyson loses, you will not be able to convince me it wasn't rigged. You will not be able to.
Do you know
convince
he's not
me.
the favorite? Vegas odds have Jake Paul
winning.
That is
so stupid.
I was in Vegas this past week, and I was like, do I want to put money down? Because are people forgetting that he bit some motherfucker's ear?
That man, savage. Also, I know because a lot of people are saying he's so old. He's so old. But he's been in great shape. I've seen video of him training.
Yeah.
That man knows all the moves.
He shouldn't be fighting any longer. The man should just retire.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You've been hit too many times, sir.
100%.
It's not safe.
But I do feel because I have seen some stitches on TikTok, and I'm like, I think these Gen Zs think that Mike Tyson is the Mike Tyson they see in The Hangover.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know that No.
Yeah.
You don't.
No.
He is a maniac. He is a killer.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Jake Paul is a YouTuber.
Yes.
Okay.
Who hasn't fought Evander Holyfield or any of these big.
Yeah, that's the thing, and there's something about it too. There's a mental game that's at play as well that I don't think is being understood by this generation of people who are like, yeah, for sure it's gonna be Jake Paul. Like, honestly, like, yeah, I get the age difference, but also too, like, how proud are you that you beat up Grampy? Yeah, like, that's my, like, if you feel good about yourself. Yeah, you feel good about yourself.
If Mike Tyson falls the wrong way and breaks his hip, you're really gonna feel proud of that.
Oh, good for you! You didn't beat up Dad.
You won,
dude. No, I guess
Mike Tyson at his big old age of 57 is more in shape than I've ever been in my entire life. 100%.
Absolutely,
yeah,
absolutely, without question. It's not good optics for Jake Paul in either sense.
Yeah.
That's my point. I'm like,
win or lose,
you lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Win or lose, you lose. You're just like, you're a pappy beater or a like, you got beat up by a pappy.
I can't wait for the strongly worded email from Mike Tyson who's like, if you don't stop calling me Grandpa, I swear to God.
I'm not calling you Grandpa, I said pappy. And I think that's worse. I'm not going to lie.
That is worse.
It is worse. Pappy sounds like, I don't even know. Anyway.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh no. Okay, but challengers. Christina sent us this video and it was Hoda and Jenna. Hoda looks like she does not want to be talking about this subject.
She's like, please
whatsoever.
zip me out of this conversation immediately.
But they were talking about, so we had Line Cook Summer, right? And this year, I think we're heading towards what has been called Rodent Boyfriend, Rat Boy Summer.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Do I feel like we are behind this somehow? And I apologize a little bit about it because
I don't.
Did we Snake Boy?
We have been talking about like truly Pete Davidson individuals since the beginning of this podcast.
Oh yeah, I mean one of my very first like Fuck, Marry, Kills was Adam Driver, who I think is peak Rodent Boyfriend.
Yes,
right.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So it's described as svelte, angular features and bodies, not necessarily conventionally handsome, which makes them even hotter. They convey the opposite of toxic masculinity, and in public. And publicly love on their partners, but in a slightly weird but sexy way.
Yep.
I feel like this is also a Tom Holland kind of vibe.
Yeah. Tom Holland is conventionally attractive,
he is.
though. Yeah. I'm thinking of like a Benedict Cumberbatch type of thing.
Yes.
Where you're like, you do look rodentia-ish.
Yes.
Like
Rodentia-ish. Is this a term? I think of a Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
Even an Owen Wilson. You don't think he looks rodenty?
I think he could, but I don't know that he fits into rodent.
He's too hot.
He's too
really.
Yeah.
He's too conventionally attractive.
I do not think he's conventionally attractive at all. His nose is bent.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's definitely been broken like 16 times.
That's what it looks like. Yeah. I don't think it has, but it definitely looks like he looks like a boxer.
Yeah. There's a scale, right? Like there's definitely a scale. I saw a woman on
map out the XY axis.
Well, I did see a woman on TikTok, and I wish I could, I'll pull this up. Maybe we'll talk about this in a future episode, but she was talking about the Leonardo DiCaprio like scale. And then she put it in like Lord of the Rings terms. Cause she's like, he was attractive when he was on Titanic, and he's still attractive now, but in a completely different way. And so he's like, you have 3 categories, and it's like, you've got the elven category, the human category, and the dwarf category.
Okay.
And then there's like, the 3, like it's like, I can't remember what was on the other axis, but, or like prince, king, and then, and so she's like, Leonardo DiCaprio started as an elven prince, and now he's like, he's moved into like human king territory.
Got it.
Right. So like still hot.
Yeah.
But on a sliding scale. Right. And I think same thing with Rat Boyfriends.
Yeah.
So this all came up because the 2 leads and challengers are rodentia like.
Yes.
The name of this episode better be rodentia.
And I don't even know.
I think it's a TIA. It's not a word.
And I do want to say, like, none of this is an insult. I love hot rodent vibes.
No, that's your category.
I'm in my bag, right? Like that is, I want
skinny rodentia.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of musicians fall into this category.
Totally.
1,000%.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not Chris, Jesus, what the hell? Radiohead.
Tom York.
Yeah, thank you, Tom York.
Yeah.
Giving absolute rodentia.
Yes. And I felt that way when I was watching The Crown because Josh O'Connor, who
very much, yes.
And he's in Challengers as well.
Sexy rap man.
And I thought that at the sexy rap man, I thought that at the time when I was watching, there has not been every Charles they choose for
Alan Cummings.
Yeah,
Alan
Cummings,
very hot.
Would go on that.
Yeah, every Charles they've chosen for The Crown has been too hot.
Yeah,
obviously.
And I remember thinking that when I watched the seasons with Josh O'Connor. I was like, yes, there's something kind of goofy about you, but it's hot.
Yeah, it's not.
It's hot.
Yeah. Well, and the dude that played Prince Philip too, that was also in that dragon.
Yes.
Doctor Who.
He's very much at the top of that. Mm-hmm. That's as far on the hotness scale as you can go for hot rodent boyfriend. Because he's right in that line between just being hot.
Yes. What is his name? The Doctor Who.
Matt Smith.
You're right. Matt Smith. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. So if we would like.
Yes.
Okay.
Cassie looks turned off.
I'm going to say, I don't.
It's not your vibe.
It's not my vibe. I don't know what I'm somewhere in my head about it. But
I'm ready for Rat Boy Summer. I'm ready.
It's fine. I just feel like we've been ripped off and it's fine. I feel like this was, we get it.
Credit where credit is due. We're small and mighty. Influencing the culture. Culture starts here.
Yeah. I will say that this was taken from an article written from a magazine that I worked with just recently. So I'm not saying it's because they listen to our podcast, but
there we go. It's gotta be. It's gotta be. Well, there's also a guy I was thinking about that was in a show called The Killing, and then he also redid RoboCop.
I know exactly who you're talking about, and yes, he's a rat boy line cook.
Yeah, he's on the other end. Right. Where Matt Smith is at the top, where you're you're almost falling into another category where you're just conventionally hot. This guy is still falling into the
but he's a little dirty.
Maybe you steal copper.
Oh no, you steal copper?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
I do, and you're absolutely fucking right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You got a window, and he's on that line on the other side. Where you're like,
let's pick our poison, you guys.
Okay.
I need to look up who that guy is now because I have to know.
I'm choosing Tom Hiddleston. I think it is the most. It feels
there
so
you go.
right. Not conventionally good looking, but god damn it, is he hot?
Yeah.
And you're just you do feel like he would be
he's
feminist.
Sneaky too,
because he plays Loki.
I know he gives you sneaky vibes, which I think is very rodential. Yeah,
rodential. Ooh, it's rodential. He's got rodentia written all over him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Josh O'Connor.
Oh,
I'm gonna go with
okay.
That.
Now
right,
he looks
pictures,
better
guys.
now, but at the time, his name is Joel Kinnaman.
All right,
Let me
pull up
see.
Pictures, people.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait,
but he had
hot.
a scruffy beard.
He did for a while. I'm trying to find the one where he had the goatee and stuff. And
What was he on?
He was
on The Killing.
The Killing, and then he did that RoboCop remake. He's been in a bunch of stuff too.
He was in one of I think maybe Suicide Squad or something as well. Yeah. Okay, let me look up pictures of Josh O'Connor.
I'm only looking him up so I can also find out his Scorpio. He's not a Scorpio, by the way. Their sign. All right, I'm definitely doing Tom Hiddleston. Are you doing that fucking piece of man meat? He is. I think he might be too hot.
I think he works.
think he is.
He works for me.
I think he is now. He's too hot.
I'm not seeing rodent at all. I'm seeing.
Yeah, no, he's aged into. Oh my God.
Damn.
Jesus.
Holy shit. He can't not be in Rodent Boyfriend.
No.
He's moved on. He slid into a different
He's in a different category.
He slid into a different category. You're right. But he was in The Killing, he really was kind of like rodent line cook.
Yes.
He was. He was Ratatouille.
These features, Tom Hiddleston, you are dead ass a rat.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this guy is too. Like Josh O'Connor is too. For sure.
Is that who you're picking?
Yeah.
All right.
You know what it is his eyes are just a touch too small.
And he's got kind of, big ears.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm laying into Cumberbatch.
That's
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it. Okay. All right.
I think you should go Matt Smith, but
Oh, I mean, I
know.
I just
Yeah.
so
All right, you're going
attractive.
Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who I am not attracted to.
Yeah, no, he's not attractive. I do not think he's attractive.
I remember
I do think he would be a nice guy.
there was a window of time, I think maybe when he was doing Sherlock, where people were losing their minds for Benedict
Cumberbitches,
Cumberbatch.
right?
Yeah, Cumberbitches. I remember
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel
Okay.
like we actually before I say anything, because I was like, I think Tom Hiddleston's a short king. He is not. He is 6'1".
Yeah,
That man is
I also need to give a
6'1".
correction. I need to give a correction because last week I did say that I thought Robert Pattinson was a short king.
No.
He is also 6'1".
Yeah.
So, yes, no.
We have been corrected.
Josh Connor is tall, I think.
Yeah, I think they're all
Gosh.
tall.
Yeah, no, Cumberbatch is tall. I think he's like, he comes off tall. Watch him be short.
Josh Connor is also 6'1".
All right, do we have signs?
I do.
Do we want to share signs before or after? Let's do before.
Before? Okay.
Okay.
Tom Hiddleston is an Aquarius.
That tracks. Josh Connor is a Taurus, but he's the last day of Taurus. He's May 20th. So Taurus, Gemini, Cusper.
Okay.
July 19th. So that makes him a Cancer.
July.
Oh God, that's a cusp.
Yeah, I think
too.
you're right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
What is?
Yeah, he is a Cancer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
A
we have
Cancer
Aquarius,
man.
Aquarius, Cancer, and
Taurus.
Taurus Gemini.
Okay.
Taurus Gemini. Oh goodness.
You know what? I think I know what I'm going to do.
I think I know what
and
I'm
that
gonna do.
actually really helped me out
It did
know
me
it,
too.
to know it ahead of time. So I finally know my accurate birth time and have my accurate chart, and I have a
Right.
shit ton of Aquarius in my chart.
Yeah.
And I'm
That
actually
makes so much sense.
I like this for you.
I am actually going to marry Tom Hiddleston.
I like that.
We're gonna have weird fucking conversations.
Yes,
The
you
weirdest.
are.
Weirdest.
Yes.
Like
Oh,
if
this
he
makes so much sense.
Yeah.
if he
he
wants
believes in
aliens,
aliens
yes.
for sure. 100% he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He probably has a story where he met one.
Yeah. And I'm gonna
That's what inspired his Loki character. That's what he pulled from.
yes.
That time he met the aliens.
So yeah, I'm gonna marry Tom Hiddleston. We're gonna have weird little adventures.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm surprised you didn't pick Benedict Cumberbatch. But you did say you don't
As
think
a
he's attractive.
Cancer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an iffy one for
Yeah.
me. But now who to fuck? Because now I'm in between Josh O'Connor and Benedict Cumberbatch.
Different
I don't like that
different-
sandwich
different
bread.
Between them,
vibes.
hey,
Different vibes. I think
totally different vibes.
yeah, different sexy times for those two. So it depends on what you're looking for.
Right.
You know.
I just feel like Benedict Cumberbatch would be like, like a make lover.
Ugh. Ew. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm the one who hates that. It's so gross.
I don't know. I just like,
Too old for that shit.
but Josh O'Connor played King Charles, and he did such a good job of being a little whiny bitch.
He did, but we're gonna watch him have a threesome with Zendaya in Challenger. So I think
That's
that will
true.
just erase that clean from your memory.
That's true.
I feel like I need to have seen this beforehand because I do not find him attractive in the least bit.
I do, but again, like I'm pro rat boy, so
Yeah, I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna fuck Benedict Cumberbatch.
okay,
Yeah,
wow,
I do. I do. It might be good. It's just for one night. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
And,
I
yeah.
know what I'm gonna do.
Okay.
Okay,
I'm gonna marry Tom Hiddleston too. It's just the right answer. An Aquarius, me and an Aquarius, as you said, we're gonna have the weirdest conversations. They might be about aliens, but they're definitely gonna be about. We're just gonna have fun. I have so much fun with Aquarius people. We're gonna make each other laugh, tell each other fart jokes or something dumb like that. We'll have fun. I am going to fuck Josh O'Connor, and here's why. He's played the character, and I know that you can't judge people on the character, but you've chose to take a role on where you are sexually open and open to the idea of,
Oh yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to me, that kind of leads to me thinking that you're open-minded. Now, I can't marry you because you're a Taurus, and also you're on the cusp of Gemini. There's just too many fucking things to deal with.
Yeah.
I can only deal with that many personalities in the bedroom, not in real life.
Yep.
So that's where I'm landing. But I think that Benedict Cumberbatch would make a great friend.
Yeah.
I think he'd be so much fun.
Yeah, for sure. He's gonna host. I feel like he'd be a good host. Like he's gonna have everyone over to his country estate.
Yeah.
Which he definitely has one because he has generational wealth.
Absolutely. And he's not gonna cook for us, but he's gonna have his people cook for us.
Oh yeah.
And it's gonna be lovely.
Lovely.
We might ride horses the next morning because we're staying overnight, obviously.
You're staying for the weekend.
Doi.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna marry Josh Connor
Okay.
because
You love a project.
I don't think he's a project. Like as a fellow cusper, first of all, like I don't.
But you're not a cusp of 3.
Huh?
You're not a cusp of 3.
What do you mean?
Gemini.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I think we have.
Okay,
yeah.
but I'm a water fire cusper. I'm the last day of Pisces. He's the last day of Taurus, so he's a earth air cusper.
You're right. This is a perfect match.
I think it's a good pairing. I also do find him attractive. He's tall. I'm into it. I think like this is gonna be we're born the same year. I think it's good. I'm feeling good about it.
Okay.
Good pairing. All 3 of these guys are British too. Just occurred to me.
They know how to raise rats.
Oh my god. But I am going to fuck Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong there.
Kind of. I do, and it could be just because he played Loki, but I don't think so because I've also seen him in some interviews and stuff. He does have a mischievous energy.
Yeah.
A little bit of a chaotic energy.
He is so fucking hot as Loki.
Hot, very hot. Extremely hot. Always has been.
You know what?
Yeah.
Here's what I'll say. I don't generally like older men with long hair. It's good. You have to be a very specific looking person to pull off his look.
Yeah.
And he does.
And I actually think
It's
he
hot.
would look less hot if he cut it shorter.
Oh, he's good looking with both.
I'm looking right now.
Yeah, he's good with both.
But he does have, there is this kind of mischievous energy about him.
It's playful. It's
yes.
a playfulness. He's
That-
Aquarius.
You're
That's
right.
a very playful
Exactly.
energy.
Which
Yep.
would be fun in the bedroom,
Yes.
but might
Yeah.
for every day, you know.
Yes.
So,
might,
yes,
might get old.
I'm gonna fuck him. That'll be a good time. I think it'll be like a really fun time. So I'm gonna do that. And then I agree. Benedict Cumberbatch, we're gonna be buds. Like we're gonna hang out, like a very adult friendship. You know, like this is like we're not going out getting crazy.
Yeah.
We're hanging out at your house, drinking wine, having interesting conversations.
He's got farmer's
He's a
market
Cumberbud.
vibes.
Yes, you can invite him to the farmer's market.
You're gonna call him Cumberbud.
Yeah, 100%. He's gonna cook. Yeah, I love it.
Do you know who we forgot
Who?
that I just thought of would be perfect for this? The fucking Saltburn dude.
Oh, 100
my
fucking
God.
percent. He does. He looks like
Full-blown
a
rat.
hot cartoon rat.
Yes.
Yeah, he does. Yes.
Yes.
Like the sexy rat in the movie, you know?
Yeah,
like if you're gonna.
Which one? No, elaborate, Keegan. I can't wait for you to tell us more.
Sometimes
Tell me more. Tell me more.
sometimes Disney does animate their cart. Nala is a hot animated lion. She's
Okay.
hot. They drew her to be sexy.
Yeah.
as a lion.
Yeah, he is straight up like if you want to know the epitome of hot rodent boyfriend, I think
what's his name?
it's Barry
Kehoe?
I don't know how you
Keegan.
pronounce his last name.
I think
Keegan.
it's Keegan.
Yeah,
Is
Barry
it?
Keegan.
Why wouldn't I know that?
Well, because it's not spelled, or Keehan.
Keegan.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think he's Irish.
Because I think it's Kehoe would be like, yeah.
Yeah.
but the Saltburn
very
guy,
similar.
The Saltburn guy, he's been in a bunch of stuff.
and he's got a really hot girlfriend. He's dating Sabrina Carpenter, I think.
Yep.
Yeah. So, we should have included him because peak. Yeah.
Yeah, he is the peak of the
Elven rat boy. Elven Prince rat boy.
Oh, man.
totally.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. Well, you guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with stories?
Sounds good.
And we're back. All right, Christina, kick us off with stories.
Okay. This, I think I was telling you guys, has a real like vibe to it. So it cracked me up reading it. So
Can we put that song underneath this and just while you read it?
okay, so this guy says, I used to work at a hospital, non-medical field. I asked a nurse out who worked at the same hospital. I really wanted to impress her. So I splurged and bought us hockey tickets that I could barely afford.
Honey bunny. You don't have to do that.
I knew she loved hockey.
Oh, that's so cute, actually.
We lived on opposite sides of town, so we met at the stadium. I drove and she rode the train. I met her at the train station and we walked to the stadium. Game went all right. I walked her back to the train station and we parted. I then get to my car and found a huge truck parked really close to the driver door. I couldn't get in. My car was a Toyota Corolla. Caveat about this car is that the passenger door lock was busted.
Oh, no.
The only way to unlock the car with the key
Trunk.
was the driver door, which I couldn't access because the truck was blocking
it's
it.
I'm sorry. I'm thinking about a hatchback.
I was
so
also
you couldn't,
too.
you couldn't call
yeah.
in through the trunk either. Okay.
And then unlock the passenger door from the inside. So to get into my car, I had to climb on top of my car, reach down to unlock the door, then crack open the door, which was just wide enough for my arm to reach, and reach down to push the button to unlock the passenger door. Then I had to go in through the passenger door and climb into the driver's seat.
Can we
all
say
have that clunker that has like that
100%.
weird thing that we're like,
my current car, that's where we're at. We're at that place.
Yeah.
But guess what? It's paid off.
Exactly.
And I'm
No
driving
car
that
payment.
thing till the
Yeah.
wheels fall off of it.
Amen.
But like, can we also just establish, if you have a big ass car, it is your responsibility. When you get a giant fucking truck or whatever, like you are taking on the responsibility of parking responsibly. You know it's going to be hard for you to find good parking. You cannot park to someone like that close to somebody.
You bought
it's rude.
yourself an asshole. Like you bought yourself right into being an asshole.
I never understand when I'm driving around LA.
What?
Right.
What
and
you got with that for?
Why do you have that? When it's like a brand new, like you can tell people that have trucks to use them for their job.
Absolutely.
Right.
And then people that just have enormous like diesel dualies on the fucking
Just for funsies.
rural streets of Los Angeles.
It makes no sense
What?
to me either.
Go back
because-
to the OC where you don't need your truck.
right. Because I'm with you on that. Like we're all from the Midwest. We definitely know people who need big trucks to
Right.
work. Like
Yeah.
they have it for a purpose. They're hauling things, they're doing
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
But especially if you live in Los Angeles, I'm like, you are doing yourself a disservice.
Right.
Honestly.
Because getting around town, parking, all having that shit is hard enough.
Oh, can you fucking imagine
No.
trying to park a
No.
fucking dually?
No.
Get fucked.
having a truck too is kind of my nightmare.
Oh, because everyone's going to ask you for help
No,
with
can
everything.
you help me move this couch?
Yeah.
No.
Can you help me blah, blah,
I have
blah?
a little
can't.
vehicle.
Yeah.
My car
Oh,
is
I'd love
small.
it.
It is easy
Listen.
to park. Okay. No one's asking me for shit.
Living
ever.
in Europe just only for 3 months. First of all, Chris and I literally high-fived yesterday about not having to ever have a car again and not having to have to worry about car insurance and like just in general not having to fucking drive. I'm so fucking excited
Yeah.
Yeah.
to not have a car. But if I did, I literally would have a
a smart
Keegan
car.
size,
Yeah, or like a little
small,
car.
tiniest car I could possibly get. And even then I might just get like a scooter. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like you can just see why people
Yeah, a
you don't
Vespa.
need a Vespa. Like I don't
Yeah.
need to take up more space.
I wish LA was a more walkable city. It's just,
Yeah.
it's
It's
not
just
at all.
not.
At
I
There's
all.
know.
certain pockets, there's neighborhoods
Yeah.
and stuff like that where you can have that kind of life. But yeah, it's really difficult. So anyways, back to our poor guy.
He just climbed over his car in front of his date. Poor baby.
Dun, 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 dun,
I hope he didn't wear white. You know?
Those hockey tickets basically wiped out my money. I really wanted to ask her out again, but I was broke. About a month passes and I've been talking to her at work and I'm like, I gotta do something or she'll think I'm not interested.
Oh, baby.
So I ask her to dinner and a movie. Dinner is at an all-you-can-eat buffet place near the theater. On the cheap side, but not terrible quality. Again, we meet at the location. Me and my car, her and hers. I buy the movie tickets beforehand and then realize I've overextended my money when I ran my car at the restaurant and it's declined.
no, baby.
That's the worst feeling. It really
I hope
is.
you're married now, honestly. Like, this just makes me so sad.
I was so grateful the other day because I always move my money into my savings account. Like
Yeah.
I keep whatever I'm going to spend in my checking account. But I had a reoccurring payment that I wasn't expecting to go through. And I was so glad that I like checked my account because I saw that it went through and I was like, oh, that's because if it had happened when I was at the grocery store, there's nothing worse than you being like, no, I know there's money in there. You're like trying to convince the cashier.
I swear to God.
You're like, put these 3 things back and try it again.
It's the worst feeling.
Man, have you ever been that poor? Because I have.
Yes.
Like,
I have.
like when you're like,
1,000.
actually, let's pull these things out.
I
Yep.
have.
Now
And,
run it.
and that's a terrible feeling too.
It's the worst feeling when you're a fucking parent. Like,
my
honestly,
God.
that feeling when you're like, fuck. And you just feel like everybody knows you're a bad parent.
Oh,
You
you're
know
not.
what I
That
mean?
doesn't make you a bad parent.
I know it doesn't, but like
you
in
feel
your
like
mind,
that.
even if your kid isn't with you, they know you're a
Well,
bad
you feel
parent.
like you're being judged. That's why I said like that's why I always try. It's like I'm trying to convince the cashier. I'm like, no, I swear there's
a
money
good
in that
person.
account. I swear there
know.
is. Let me just something must be going wrong. That cashier doesn't care.
Don't care.
But
They're like, whatever. We see this twice a day.
yeah,
Well, one of the worst things that I remember from my childhood that I think I've done to my mother, and I've done plenty of horrible things because that's what kids do to their parents. They do horrible things. But I guess one day I asked her for donuts for breakfast. You know, I'm like, I really want donuts. And she's like, you know, I'm so sorry. Like, we don't have money for that, you know? And so I was just like, write a check.
Yep.
Yeah.
The number of times I've actually said that to my parents.
yeah, like
I remember that.
Write a
Just
check.
write a check.
money. Yeah, we have no
Definitely said that to
concept
my
of how
parents.
money works whenever
Yeah.
you're
No.
a kid. And I same thing. Like I'd be like, oh, you just use your card. What? You've got money on your card. Like
Yeah.
it's a never ending.
Exactly.
Supply.
Buy me donuts. I want them. Okay. So the card is declined. I realize I only have enough for myself, not her. So I awkwardly say, sorry, can you pay for yourself? Which she does. During the movie, it started snowing. Afterwards, we part ways again, and I go to my car and realize my driver door wouldn't unlock, which would happen sometimes in the cold.
Oh my God. My heart is
I
breaking for this
understand.
poor guy.
Like this is so relatable. We've all been there.
Oh,
like
no.
this is early like
Yep.
just got out on your own for the first time. You're
honey
trying to
bear.
make
Job.
it as an
You're trying to make
independent person.
Oh.
This is exactly what's happening. Oh,
So I'm basically locked out of my car. She's about to drive by in her much nicer car, and I pretend to be on my phone while she drives away.
he's me.
Then I
Yeah.
spend the next 10 minutes on my knees blowing into the door lock, trying to get it to unfreeze. Finally, I get it open and go home.
Lovey.
After that, I decided I wasn't financially stable enough to be in a relationship, so I kind of just stopped talking to her. She met someone else a few months later, and she's now married with kids, and I'm single and have a cat, but a much nicer car.
Oh, baby.
honey.
You're going to find your match.
Listen, I love somebody who's also self-aware, Bear.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, just totally in this place where he's like, you know what? I'm not in a place where I can offer what I feel like you deserve right now. And that is such a huge,
Green
Yeah.
flag.
huge
Yeah.
green
It
flag.
is.
And you know, and a green flag in the way that, yeah, you give that person space, give them time to grow. They get a nicer car and a great cat. And, you know, like this guy's
Right.
now in a place where he's probably ready to start.
And you
seeing
shouldn't
people.
be feeling pressured
No.
to spend your money on like get
And
your,
there's no
get your
timeline.
own self set up.
There's
and
no
get
fucking
comfortable.
timeline
Yeah,
either.
no, not
Let's
at all.
stop
Not at all.
like the idea that there's a timeline for anything.
Right, agree.
Yeah, but I also want to say that I think that he could have communicated.
Absolutely.
He's like,
Sure.
I want to get you the world. I'm just not.
I'm not there yet, but I'm
not
working
there yet.
towards it.
I'm working towards it.
Yeah.
I have plans, you know, like I don't think that you need to have money to date.
I don't either.
I think you need
Right.
communication.
I
think
agree.
you need
Exactly.
emotional maturity,
Yeah,
but I
agree.
don't think that money is a necessity.
I agree.
I agree.
I think that's the issue is like you shouldn't feel pressured to spend your money this way. Like if you want to take her out on a date, like again, we've said this many times, like your money would have gone a lot further packing a picnic basket.
Yes.
Right.
And like making
And that still would
sandwiches
have
and
been a great
going
date. A
and
better
sitting
date
at
than
the
a movie.
park.
Yeah.
Then
Going to a museum, like finding out when like the free days are.
Yes.
right. Getting
there's-
coffee,
Yeah.
you know, like all these things are a lot cheaper than, you know.
Yeah.
So you don't necessarily need to have money to date. You shouldn't feel pressured to like dates
Sure.
don't. I think that's very early 20s of being like, oh, a date is dinner and a movie.
No,
and
sure, for sure.
Whatever.
But I do think that there's an understanding too where you're just like, I'm not in a financial state where I feel comfortable. And I agree. there's both sides to this,
I
right?
agree too.
But I think that you know what your goals are for yourself, and there is something too about that kind of emotional or
obviously
barrier that
she got
you've
married
created
pretty quickly after
She
that.
was
She
ready,
was
ready.
looking for that,
She was
and
ready, ready.
he was
He wasn't
probably
ready
like he
for that
still has to blow into his door
agree
lock.
with I agree with both things. There's nothing wrong with having that experience and then saying, you know what, I think maybe I need to just like take some time and like
Get my shit
not date
together.
for a while, get my shit together, get a
I think
nicer
especially
car.
if you're looking at like starting a family, if you're looking at starting like a life together with somebody, there's a difference between casually dating broke and starting a life with somebody broke. There is a difference. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong even when you have money having cheap dates or no money
absolutely.
dates.
Yeah.
You know, it's not even about the amounts of money. It's about the amounts of stability that you can provide as a partner.
Yeah.
Again, whether it's emotionally, you know.
And again, all that can be worked out, but you have to communicate because when you're in your 20s, you're going to have like highs and lows. Everyone's figuring it out, and people have very successful relationships in their 20s.
We're still
while
figuring
they're
it out in our 30s
figuring
and
it out
40s.
100%.
And, you know,
100%.
Amen.
I'm 46 and I'm still figuring it out.
I will never stop.
I love that about it. Yeah,
figuring
that's
it
the
out.
best part of life.
If you say so. I'm over it. I'm like, can I have it figured out now? That'd be fucking great. I
Never will. You never
so tired. I'm so tired. Okay. All right. It wasn't a date to me, but it was to him. Already starting off on the wrong foot.
Oh,
Ruh-roh.
Uh-oh.
Have you ever had that?
Have I ever had that? Yes. Yeah. I think I've definitely gone into a situation where I'm just like, oh, we're just like, it's
Hanging
a
out.
friendly
Yes.
hang, you know,
Yeah.
or maybe even if I knew like there was some interest, it was like a feelers. I thought it was like a feelers situation.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh no, I want to.
We're going to get married.
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Yeah.
I definitely had that too.
I had that too, and I even went as far as like making out with the person. If you've ever made out with someone you're not really interested in,
Oh, gross.
it's the worst.
Ooh, it can't
it's
be
the
good.
worst.
You know, I don't think I
Because
have.
kissing is actually
Very
really
intimate.
gross.
And it, yes.
Well, and it's
yes,
intimate.
it is gross.
It's so
Thank you.
fucking gross, dude.
This is why
It can be so hot with the right person.
Oh,
Yes.
I
but with the
love-
wrong person, it is just literally swapping spit.
I love making out with someone you're really attracted to. I
Yes.
think kissing is so hot.
Yes.
But if you think about it too much, which is what you're
Yeah.
doing whenever you're making out with someone you're not interested in.
You're like, this is fucking foul.
I have your disgusting
your mouth.
spit.
Your mouth and what that mouth do. On
we
my
were
mouth.
watching MILF Manor, and one of the dads on MILF Manor
So
said that
attractive.
he's a good looking guy, but one of the dads on MILF Manor said that he had a bet with his college fraternity or whatever to see how many women they could sleep with in the same day. End of sentence. Already
Disgusting.
turned off.
Hate
But
it.
he said that he won by sleeping with 5 women in the same day. And as we know, this is a pro-ho podcast.
Pro-ho.
We don't slut shame on this podcast.
Right.
However, for me personally, the concept of kissing, like all of it, I'm like, unless you are taking a Silkwood shower between every person before you
In
come to
one
me,
day?
I don't want to be that fifth person
no.
where I'm just like, your mouth is so
the
gross.
amount of body crumbs.
And you know,
Just,
he's a college kid.
He is a college kid. He has not even had a regular shower, let us slow
you
the
didn't
Silkwood
brush
shower.
your teeth?
No.
Where
what you're worried
has that mouth been?
Sweating, you guys. I'm
Fucking
Yeah.
literally
disgusting.
sweating.
I'm just saying, like, look, that's all. I'm with you. I'm not free with my mouth notoriously. I
Right.
don't want, I need.
The mouth is literally the least of my concerns after number 5. I'm just,
Yeah.
I am
Well,
so
but there are
ickied out.
mouths, places other than on other mouths.
That's
you
right.
know? And I'm like, this is why I don't go down freely. I'm
Yep.
like, I don't know where that has been.
Right.
I'm sweating.
And when
I'm
it's
literally,
when it's
my
a college
body
boy
is
too, it's
sweating.
like even if it hasn't been in anyone else, it's been in
Sir, there was
those
this
pants.
21-year-old on that show who said he had 35 partners. Again, freely
Listen.
pro-ho.
Yeah.
Have your fun. I just don't know when. Like how?
35. Yeah. At some
35.
point,
You're busy.
like, he's
You're
like,
busy.
yeah, exactly. How
Well,
do
he's
you
an event.
schedule that
He's an
around?
event promoter, so his
good at
schedule.
scheduling.
is-
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah,
Never mind.
there
I
you go.
forgot.
Solved.
Look at that.
Solved.
Look at that star sign.
Problem solved.
Oh God,
Some-
Yeah.
Jesus. Anyway, I was gonna say
You said what
Libra,
it said.
but yeah. Not all Libras, not all Scorpios. Okay. It wasn't a date to me, but it was to him. He was a friend of my cousin's, so we were sort of friends as well. He talked nonstop about his ex-fiance. She was his fourth fiance.
Ooh, that is a maroon red flag.
That is a maroon flag.
It's deep blood red.
That is
cherry
four
red.
fiancés.
Yeah.
Was he the military?
Oh my God. Wait, why is that true? Why did you just speak truth right out loud? Wait, you got that good insurance?
People who serially propose. I'm just like, yeah. And people who like serially marry. I'm just like, you don't have to, right?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Dude,
there was a TikTok that I saw, I don't know, like a week and a half ago where this chick was like upset. And she's like, my boyfriend thinks I'm an asshole because I'm upset that he proposed to me with the ring that he used for his ex-fiance.
Yeah.
I don't
And
love
she's
that.
like, I would want a new ring.
Yes.
And he's like thinking that she's some sort of selfish gold digger, blah, 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 or whatever.
No.
I'm
Well,
like,
and I think I saw that one too. And she had the ring for, like, she wore it. Like, she accepted the proposal, wore it for a while until he didn't tell her for like months.
Yeah.
So she'd been wearing this engagement ring that he had given to someone else.
I don't love that.
I don't love that either. She was his fourth fiance and got really angry when I mentioned one of my exes briefly. Very red flag. You're sitting here talking about all your fiancés, even though it was relevant to our conversation. That was when I decided it was 100% not going to lead anywhere. After a few more days of him blowing up my phone with texts and me not being proactive with replies, I decided ghosting was not the way to go and told him outright I was not interested in him. I sent him a detailed message as I did not want to phone him and make him think calling was an option. He knew I finished work at 10 p.m. And as it turned from 9:59 to 10 p.m., the first message came through on WhatsApp. He probably thought he was being respectful too. He's like, I'll wait till she gets off.
He's like holding it like,
and it's like 10. He's like, boom.
I ignored it. So he sent it as a text, then as a Facebook message. At 10:15, he called my phone.
I assure you, if I didn't respond on WhatsApp,
that's the answer.
Listen.
Or that's the answer.
the phone
Right.
These
message, it ain't gonna be
modern
Facebook.
times are so tough for me in people thinking they get access to my time whenever they want
100%.
through texts, Facebook messages,
100%.
Instagram DMs.
You do not have to respond
voicemails,
immediately.
like all of that stuff is really difficult for any introvert because I'm also somebody I don't like seeing a bunch of notifications. I like to keep up. And so it's the difficult battle that I've had to do with myself in order to create boundaries. But like, just because you can.
Do you put your phone up at night? Like, or do you put it on silent?
I do. I've started putting it on Do Not Disturb or just put it away from me.
I put it on Do Not Disturb too.
Yeah.
If there's an emergency, God bless. Because my phone is on Do Not Disturb. My phone's on Do Not Disturb most of the time.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was an emergency, you could push it through. But like, my phone's on Do Not Disturb most of the time. I feel the same way. And it's not that I'm not going to respond to you, but I will sometimes. I do the same. Hold on. What?
Is it an emergency if I really want to go to the bar?
Yes.
I mean, like if I'm like, Keegan, I want to go out. What are you doing? I feel like that's an emergency, and I feel like I might push that through.
From you, I'd accept that.
Okay.
From you, I would accept that.
I just want to make sure we have our boundaries set.
Yeah. But I do the same thing with my texts that I do with my emails, which is like, if I know I need to pay attention to that, but I don't want to pay attention to it right now, I will leave it unread so that I know I need to go back to it. And I do the same thing with my text messages. I'll see that someone's texted me. I won't open it because I'm like, I'll open it when I'm ready to respond to it. But I'm with you. I think this like idea that people have constant access to you just because they know you have a phone on you all the time is exhausting.
Yeah.
And I don't like it either.
Yeah.
And I'm more of an ambivert than you are. But okay. So I ignored it. He sent it as a text, then a Facebook message. At 10:15, he called my phone, called through WhatsApp, called on Facebook.
Okay, no.
More texts came in at 10:20. Then at 10:30, there were more calls. I put my phone on airplane mode so I could eat, shower, and watch my favorite show in peace.
Yeah.
I even knocked Wi-Fi and Bluetooth out.
Jesus.
I switched it all back on at midnight to set my alarm for the next day. I had 17 missed call alerts, 35 texts, 40 WhatsApp messages, 20 odd Facebook
Dude, that
messages.
gives me so much anxiety.
And 10 plus WhatsApp calls, all between 10:30 and midnight.
My whole body just
so he spent the whole time,
shook
the
with
whole
the chill.
time. Like that is so many. If you were to add up all of those messages,
I am hot and I have goosebumps
that
right
is
now.
so many messages
No, that's
in an hour and a half.
That's so scary, for a multitude of reasons. But if someone gives you a detailed message as to why it's not going to work out, the only response is a text back saying, "Thank you so much. Wish you all the best."
Yeah.
The end.
That's it.
Goodbye.
You don't need to try and plead
Or
your
nothing.
case.
Or
Yeah, just don't
nothing.
respond. That's fine too. I'm great with that. I'd like that better.
Yeah.
At 12:05, I got another text, so I blocked him. The next day, he drove up and down the road outside my workplace. My work has
911.
My work had a massive window and I could see. He used his own car, his mom's, his dad's, and his sister's. Drove in different cars.
Fucking 911.
This went on for weeks. All of it took place between July and September, and then he was married to someone else by the end of the year.
No.
Nightmare. 4 fiancés in. 5th one's the charm. 5th one's the charm.
God.
After stalking a woman for months. July through September. July, it's like 3 months.
That's terrifying to constantly be looking over your shoulder.
We know
That's
this is both of your
terrible.
guys' worst nightmare.
Oh,
I hate it.
It is my worst
I hate
fucking
it.
nightmare. Yes.
I don't like dealing with people I like sometimes, let alone
It's true.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Like
dude.
you live with a man. Are you ever just like, go away?
Yeah. Yes.
And you're like,
I
I
mean,
like you. I married you.
Yeah.
I fucking love you so much, but Jesus. Yeah, no.
I am
Solitude is bliss.
truly,
What can I say?
honestly, truly sometimes.
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 Yeah.
I mean, there is a joy of having somebody like,
Oh,
I mean,
1,000%.
there's literally like, there's the number of times, especially when like, Chris and I would talk like literally when I was in Germany, like every morning, every night, because like, and
That's so cute because you guys are not phone
No.
people, and I love that you guys had that like come together while you were separated.
totally.
It's beautiful.
Had to. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Had to.
and I told Chris about that, and we talked about it because I was like, this is so weird. This is so not like us to spend time on the phone together. He's like, it's a lot different than you just taking a few days to
Right,
go to the other
100%.
side of the country or to like
You're
go
used to
you know,
talking to him
yeah.
every day,
Yeah. Yeah.
so this is,
Oh my God. And it's like I would save up a list of like checklist in my head of like things I have to tell Chris, like, oh my God, you won't believe this
Yeah.
thing that happened today. Like, and it's funny because when I first met Chris, we went through this period of like where I was like, I just want to have you in my pocket. Like, I just want to pull you out and like, oh my God, did you see that? Like,
well, now you can with texting.
it's true.
Yeah.
But like, I just feel like that's the thing is like, I still feel that way almost 20 years in. And I think that's
beautiful.
Like
Yeah,
that's
It's
to me
special.
very exciting. Like it's
Is next
good.
year your 20th? I think it is, isn't it?
05 is when we met. So next year is 20.
Wow.
Yeah. No, 05 is when we got married. Yes. So yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God, are you guys going
Big
to do
deal.
something special?
I don't know. We'll be living in Europe. So hopefully.
Go to Paris.
Oh my God, we should.
Go to Paris for your 20th.
What if we go to Greece and Paris and Tokyo? Who knows?
Yeah. Who knows? The world is our oyster.
I'll do what I want. All right. So this date, I don't know why. Okay. I will say this because I know that we're not shamey on this podcast. We try not to be, but there's certain things I just cannot. I'm sorry.
Christina's pen just exploded. Sorry.
just like-
Anyway.
All right. I can't even remember the guy's name, so we'll call him T.
Great.
We
Sweet.
met on Plenty of Fish.
No.
Already, we're off to a bad start.
He lived about an hour from me, so I offered to meet in the middle. We settled on a public park. He showed up 30 minutes late in a really nice truck. He hopped out and had on trip pants.
What's that?
What
What's
is
that?
that?
I don't know. That's why I was reading this because I was hoping you guys would know what.
No.
I'm Googling
okay,
it. I'm
Christina's
Googling
Googling.
it right now. I'm Googling.
I
need
loved
to
trip
know.
pants as a teen, so I see them 6 or so years.
All I can
later.
think of
It
are
was
like
great.
stirrup pants, like those ones from the 80s that had
I
the
think
like
they're like
little
big
loop.
Janko.
No.
Are they Janko jeans? They're Janko jeans.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
These
They're
are like,
even.
This
They're
is like
like
Faygo drinking jeans.
They are. They're like
Faygo
insane.
pants.
They're like, think of all the chains, belts, hooks.
I remember this vividly
There's
from my
Hot
childhood. They're Hot
Topics.
Topic jeans. Send me a picture and I'll put it in our story on the day that the episode goes
my
on so that everyone can see.
God.
So it'll be on our story and our Facebook page if one of you guys want to put it there.
I would die.
I think I had a toned down version of those.
wow.
Like
Those are insane clown posse
Oh,
pants
yeah.
if I ever saw them.
God.
But in the year of our Lord 2024, if a man got out of a truck
With a Faygo
In
and those
those-
pants.
pants.
And his face painted like a
Dude, I would be like one of those cartoons where you could see the clouds behind me.
Goodbye. Amazing. Yeah, text me that and I'll
I'm
put it up.
texting you
I'll
right
put it
now.
up in our story so you
my
know exactly.
God, what a fucking laugh.
I did not know
what those. That's what those are called,
Me
and I
neither.
appreciate knowing that now.
Yeah.
Wow, trip pants. Man,
TRIPP.
I did see somebody wearing Jenkos, like a young person wearing Jenko jeans the other day.
Yeah.
That's
Listen, were they comfortable? Yes.
well, of course.
Did they make me look so skinny? Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they also were so impractical.
They're so nonsense.
Yeah.
No, their pockets were huge. I have a picture of me with like
I just
cat in
meant
my
like you
pocket.
literally tripped over them. If it rained, fucking forget it.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Oh, wet.
It was traveling
Yeah.
up to your knee.
Yeah.
Well, it totally
You
did.
know, yeah.
It would be like
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, all right. I was sitting in a pavilion and he walked up to meet me. He hadn't showered or washed his clothes. He smelled horribly of cat pee.
I love cats. You know I love cats so
Fucking
much, but cat
deal
pee smell
breaker.
is the worst.
It's the worst.
And it's like oily. It like sticks. That happened one time. Like I went in and I was like, what the fuck is
that smell? Yeah.
Okay, so I have a story to tell. So you guys know I used to be a dancer, stripper. I'll say it, I don't give a shit. I used to be a stripper, and when I worked at this club, and this girl came in, and she brought her bag of clothes with her, and it was fucking cat piss.
It's so distinct.
Her fucking, she was like, "Oh, my cat pissed on all my clothes." I'm like, "Why did you bring him in?"
No,
Yeah,
it's
now
it's
we
such
all
a
smell like that.
distinct smell. It's so
Yeah.
pungent.
Could you imagine?
And then when you touch it, because like it did happen one time, like one of my cats peed on.
Can you imagine a stripper coming up and dancing on you and
Girl, no, that's a boner killer for
Yeah.
sure. But you touch it and it's like it's oily. It's like it's a weird.
Yeah.
It's such a.
That's a spray. There's a difference
Yeah.
between cat piss and cat
Do you think-
spray.
does it smell different?
It does. The cat spray, like male cats will spray to mark their territory. And that's if you don't get them fixed early enough, they will spray.
Yep.
The spray is oily. That is different. And it is so
But Hicks
potent.
is fixed.
Some cats, especially if they're territorial, will start to spray even if they've been fixed, especially if they were fixed too late.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It only happened one time, and I remember being like, "This smells so rank."
Fucking
It was
worst
so
thing you've ever
disgusting.
smelled in your life. It's
Yeah.
awful. So anyway, this man
Villain
shows up to a date.
got so angry when we first brought Tig home.
Oh,
And Villain did it all over Tig's
Fucking
bed.
stinks.
And it was just like,
You have to throw it away.
yeah.
There's nothing really you
It's
can do about
just
it.
like,
Yeah.
this is done.
yeah. Gross. Anyway, he's wearing trip jeans and he smells like cat piss. Great start. Great start.
He told me how
Climbed
he
out of his Ford F-150.
He told me a nice car too. I'm like, you have a
So
nice
his car smells like
car.
cat piss too.
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
nice.
Because it's
If you
so,
smell like cat piss, anything
everything.
you come in
Yeah,
to contact
everything
us.
does.
Yeah.
He told me he now lived with his mom and had 9 cats. That's too
9.
many fucking
A
cats.
lot.
Yeah.
And I
It's too
love
many.
cats.
And I
That's
love cats.
A lot.
It's too many cats too if you smell like cat piss, because here's the thing.
you're not maintaining it.
cleaning your
Right.
house
Yep.
properly to have 9
That's right.
cats. You don't deserve to have 9 cats.
Yeah, because I
believe you
do
can
feel
have
like
9
some
cats.
people can have a lot of animals and they're like, but it is a full-time job. Like
Absolutely.
you are
Daily.
putting a
Sometimes
lot of
twice a
work
day.
into, and you're scooping those litter boxes frequently.
Every single day,
Yeah.
if not twice a day, and you have 3 to 4 litter boxes to have that many cats. You can't have them all
Absolutely.
share one.
At
They don't
least
do it.
9 cats, 4 litter boxes minimum. I
Minimum.
think.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's bonkers. Anyway, so he had 2 kids that he wasn't available for some reason or another.
You got time for 9 cats, or I guess you don't. But
We worked for the same company in different towns. He proceeded to show me his vast collection of stolen pocket knives from his job.
from his job, we're stealing from your job.
This is like
Well, he's got so much room in those
This
pants.
is the fucking worst date.
Those pockets are so deep.
They're
You can
so
fit so
deep
many
that
knives.
Those
in
are
there.
actually just from one day.
He's like, this is my haul today. They work at a pocket knife store.
I don't know. It does say that they work for the same company. She doesn't.
Also,
say.
now you're pulling me into. I don't want to have to be
No.
a snitch,
Yeah.
but like I work with you. You can't tell me you're
different
stealing
locations,
shit.
but still. He talked a lot about himself and didn't ask anything about me. Then he started
tracks.
chugging a large bottle of water. I asked what he was drinking. It was rum.
Oh, so it's clear rum.
Chugging
rum. What year is this? This feels very like post Pirates of the Caribbean era man who shops at Hot Topic. It really fucking does. Like, where everybody rum had a real moment circa like 2005.
Yeah.
And like
it is a clear liquor. But good Lord.
And I guess it would be better to chug rum than vodka. It's less like astringent,
Dude, gun to my head, vodka. For me.
Gun to my head, rum. for
Gun to my head,
sure.
rum.
No way.
because
I love
love
shot of
vodka,
vodka and I
but
thought I was going to fucking vomit.
Vodka's not a
everywhere.
straight drink by itself liquor,
Especially bad.
cheap. Tastes like rubbing
hop off.
alcohol.
Yeah.
Fucking rubbing alcohol.
Yeah.
All right. Turns out he was hammered and planned to drive home that way. I wrapped it up pretty quickly at that point. He asked me to meet his mom and his cats. I don't mind animals at all. I have cats and dogs myself, but to smell like a litter box from 10 feet off
Right.
was a
Means
huge
your
turn-off.
house is
It's a
gonna
no.
smell. I mean, I love cats, and that would be a tempting offer. I'm like, cats?
Meet your cats?
But like
If you
I'm
smell
not
like that, your house?
Yeah.
Your house definitely smells like that
100%,
then.
yeah.
And he's got to be nose blind to it at
Yeah.
this point.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
You
I
wash
worry
your
about
clothes and
that.
they smell like piss.
Yeah.
Have you guys all been like managers at some point? Have you ever had to tell somebody that they smell?
No, thank God.
Oh, I've not been a manager in that sense, but I have.
Yeah, that did happen.
I have worked on shows where I'm in a leadership position
Doesn't that make you want to peel
Oh,
your
it's the
fucking
worst.
skin
Oh,
off?
it's the fucking worst.
It's
Oh, it's the
so
worst.
awful.
Yeah.
Like, how do you say it? I remember it too because I
Yeah.
was like, why does it have to be me that does this?
It's terrible.
Ugh, well, you guys want to take 5 and then we'll come back with the Tainted Love?
Let's do it.
Yes.
And we're back.
Okay. I have the Tainted Love this week, and you guys get the benefit of me having stayed in a hotel in Vegas earlier this week and putting on Forensic Files.
Yes, your background show.
Yes,
it.
this tracks so fucking hard.
Honestly, yeah, it did the work for you. When
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
you've got to, if you're like, my Tainted Love is coming up, but I'm going to be in a hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even have to worry about it.
No.
Yeah.
You're like, something will come up.
Exactly. And so the episode that came on, I had seen it years earlier. Come to find out, is the creator of Forensic Files' favorite Forensic Files episode.
Really? Okay.
I'm intrigued.
Listen.
The episode, well, I don't want to say the title of the episode. I'll say it at the end. And we'll put it in our show notes and what have you. But because I don't want to spoil it for you, just in case you haven't seen this gem.
I bet I haven't,
wow.
because, Forensic Files, while I
I've
love
spent
it,
a lot of time in a hotel room.
it is a classic, and I have too. But Forensic Files for me is a background show. There's
Yes.
something
Yep.
about, I think I grew up with it, and there's something about the monotonous nature of the voice and
Yes.
the pacing of the show that
opening song.
yeah. Oh, yes. Plays in my sleepy times.
Yes.
Exactly.
Immediate.
So I maybe have seen the episode, but whether I retained anything from it,
Yeah.
probably not.
There it is. That's
Probably
exactly
not.
right.
Okay. So it is the late 80s. It's like 1986,
I see the hair.
Me too.
87.
I feel the music.
And we're in Saskatchewan.
Don't
Canada.
you love me, baby?
So there is a bright young doctor who has just moved from South Africa to Canada. He's moved to Saskatchewan. He's in a small town. Doesn't really know anybody.
Are we in Saskatoon? Where are we at? Regina?
No, even smaller.
More
Because
remote.
it's eventually
shit.
we end up in Kipling. So
Oh,
it's
God.
like tiny,
Tiny.
tiny. So
I've seen True Detective Night Country.
Yeah.
I don't.
Fuck that show.
Cassie finally watched it.
Episode 1, halfway through, I was like, no, this ain't.
I knew you
no.
wouldn't like it. It's scary.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, go ahead.
So, young doctor, Dr. John Schneeberger, he's like just personable. People like him. He
Classic
does
South
have a
African name.
Schneeberger. Yeah. So
colonial.
he
of
gets
course.
to be friends with a coworker of his, Lisa Tillman, and her husband, and they invite him over because he doesn't know anybody. He's from South Africa, and so she's like, come on over. Her and Rick have 2 small kids, and her and Rick's marriage kind of starts being on the rocks. They're in their late 20s. Like, she's like 26. And they have been
late 20s
high school sweethearts.
Oh,
so with 2 kids, so things just start to kind of fall apart, and then Lisa starts to see Dr. John Schneeberger as kind of like more than just a friend,
a little sneaky link.
Yeah, exactly. So her and Rick do get divorced, and her and Dr. John start like hanging out, and one thing leads to another, and they get married. And she's like, I have found my soul.
Can't wait
mate.
to be Mrs. Schneeberger.
Cannot wait. Lisa Schneeberger has a ring to it. So yeah, they're a young couple. They moved to Kipling, Saskatchewan.
Moving on up.
And Dr. John is one of only 2 doctors in that region. And he is so loved by the town. They're like, he is a young, personable, amazing doctor.
I'm
banner.
hearing Keith Morrison in my head right now.
100%.
Talking about this.
I'm also hearing that he does not have his license to do medicine.
I'm from South Africa.
South Africa.
So yeah, he's beloved. They end up, they have a nice house. She's like, I'm moving on up. I'm married to a doctor.
Do you think that's how she talks? Saskatchewan.
Yes. But
Can you say it any other way?
Saskatchewan.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan?
No, doctor.
Doctor.
Married to a
Doctor.
doctor.
Ooh, I'm married to doctor.
So it's November 1st, 1992. Lisa is getting breakfast ready for her 2 kids, Dr. John's stepkids, and a knock on the door. And there's a detective there to speak to her husband. And she's like, what is going on? So they end up going into another room. And the detective's like, just so you know, there's a patient of yours that has lodged a complaint against you.
Would you have a glass to that door? If I'm your wife,
Oh,
the way my ear is pressed to that
like,
fucking
no,
door.
we getting interrogated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you kidding me? You leave that door open.
Yep.
Exactly. So yeah, he has had a patient accuse him of sexual assault, and he is stunned. He's like, "This is not right at all." And he's like, "Well, it was a young woman named Candy, and I'm changing some of the names. I'm using a lot of the fake names that they have used on programs.
The show. Yeah.
There's when you go and you read about this case, like you can find out."
If it's
some
not,
of the people, but it's not
yeah.
necessary.
No, we
so
don't
we're
need
going to
it.
call her Candy for the story because that's what she was called in forensic files. So this young woman had come in on Halloween night to the hospital.
This
and her
sounds
name's
so familiar.
Candy.
It sounds so familiar.
I know.
Okay.
So Candy was a gas station worker and a single mother. She was well known about town with not the best reputation. She was rowdy, like blah, blah, blah. So
I know her.
How dare she?
I know Candy just like this. I'm not going to lie.
That's
So-
why they chose the name Candy for
Yeah.
her. Like, we want to set the right vibes.
Yeah. So Candy had gotten into a huge fucking fight with her boyfriend on Halloween night where she basically found out that he was seeing other women. She got so worked up. She left her job early as a gas station attendant and went to the hospital where Dr. John works because she has a friend that works there. And she's just like, she was emotional.
Yeah.
She's like,
Shook.
wanted to talk to her friend. Well, she got there and her friend wasn't there. And the nurse was like, do you want to see a doctor? Because she was so, she
Yes.
was sobbing. She was so worked
There
up.
was a Dateline on this. That's why I heard Keith Morrison's voice in my head.
There
there
it
was.
is. Yeah.
So she's like, okay, fine. And so she had known Dr. John. He's one of 2 doctors in the fucking town. He had delivered her baby, just however months like previously.
Don't love that.
So she gets in there and, Dr. John like gives her a sedative of Versed or whatever. And so now it's the next morning and the cops are there and saying, Candy actually went to a different hospital after she woke up this morning and says that you sexually assaulted her. And he's like, that's nuts. Like, I will clear my name. I'm going to take a blood test. And they're like, great. All right, we'll schedule it or whatever. So, because she...
Oh my God, I know this story.
So, yeah, she had gone, she was so like fuzzy. She had gone to the hospital, a different hospital, and she had semen on her underwear in like a Ziploc bag. She had brought it and she's like, I was sexually assaulted. And, here's the proof. She went through the rape kit, all of that kind of stuff. And so they're like, okay, so we have, the DNA from that. And so we're going to take blood from Dr. John. And so he voluntarily goes in, gives blood. They wait for months. Meanwhile, all around Kipling, people are like, Candy's a liar. She's no good. Like, just trashing her. And Lisa cannot even believe it because she's like, there's no fucking way. Like, that is not my husband. And like, he has such an upstanding member. They have to wait for months because this is also 1992 for DNA results to come back and they don't match. So that's that. Right? Like, Candy must be mistaken or it must have been someone else, even though there was only one other person in the hospital.
This is Cassie's worst fear.
Yes.
Girl,
this
not
really
being
is.
Believed.
There was only one other man in the hospital that night, and it was an expectant father whose wife was giving delivery, and he was in the delivery room all night. So they're like, we don't know what to tell you, but like, it doesn't match. So that's that. But Candy is like, no,
I'm fucking telling you.
I fucking am telling you. Like, I vividly remember this happening. And Dr. John's like, well, that's some of the like side effects of that sedative is that like, you can have your
cum happens in your pants.
Yeah, exactly.
Male cum just shows up in your underwear. That's that is a fucked up side effect.
Yeah. So she and I, to the police's credit up there, she badgers them enough where they do another test on Dr. John. Again, voluntarily, because they're like, she really will not leave us alone. And she's like pestering us and she swears this happened. Like, do you mind? And he's like,
do you mind ever so much?
Would you ever just give your blood to us?
Yeah.
Just you give it to us.
So it's 1993. It's been a year. And he's just like, you know what? I'm tired of these accusations. I don't mind. It's not going to match. You can do it again. So they draw blood again. Again, it does not match. Months later, it's gone back. And it doesn't match.
This
again.
Story pisses me
It's coming
off.
back to me in waves as you tell it.
So vividly.
I didn't know, and I was like, oh, I know I've heard this before, but I can't place it. Every time you say a new thing, it's like hitting me again, and I'm like, okay. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah.
Not to...
So... Yeah, Lisa is like fucking furious because she's like, this bitch is like trying to get with my man or something. And she's like trying to ruin our family. Why is she so jealous of us? Like, what is going on? What is her fucking
problem? And
police are finally like, we've tested. This guy is voluntarily given his blood twice. This case is closed. Like, we're done.
It's so difficult because every single person in this, you're just like, you understand.
No, you do.
You understand why the police are like, okay, come on.
And that's exactly it. Because
the wife being upset.
Right. Usually I'll be the first person to be like, the police are blah, 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 because he's a doctor or anything. But it's like, it does sound like they did their due diligence in this case.
Yeah.
It's just.
They tested him twice. Like, I'm like, the fact that they even tested him at all.
Yeah.
And like,
believed
you know
her
what I mean?
to that extent.
Yeah, exactly.
But so then in a small community too. Yeah. I mean, she might not have even gotten that much. And that sucks that the bar is that low. But truly, in a small community, they really could have just been like, you're somebody who's a single mom who parties a lot and he's a doctor, so we don't believe you, like straight out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Candy is not having it because she's like, I fucking know what
Is she an Aries?
happens.
This is Cassie. Cassie would be like, first of all, go fuck yourself.
I heard myself say it.
Don't understand
never letting this go. Yeah.
Why the results are happening this way because I fucking vividly remember what happened to me. And
It's
so
not a side effect. I'm
No,
Sorry,
it's
go ahead.
disgusting.
No, move on.
So she hires a private detective and she's talking to him and explaining the whole situation. And he's interviewed on like a different show where he's like, I couldn't help but believe her. Like she's just
100%.
so strong. And so he ends up he has an associate of his go to the hospital to sell raffle tickets that you had to seal in an envelope or whatever.
Love the ingenuity of private detectives. They are so like, they'll come up with anything.
They're like, we
I love
don't
it.
have the right to do that, but we can do this.
We can do this. We can get around it. We're creative.
So they convince Dr. John to buy a raffle ticket, and then he notices that the stranger's like watching him while he's like licking the envelope. So his wife Lisa mentions in a different show that like all of a sudden he started sealing all envelopes with tap water, and he's just like,
That'd be fucking weird. If Eric started sealing every envelope with tap water, would you be like, what are you doing?
especially it's like, why are you doing
It's
it?
fucking
that?
weird. I'd have
That's
to ask
weird.
about it.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't think they were like a sneaky link or anything, I'd still
Right.
just be like, what's that about? That's fucking weird.
So it ends up not working. Like the envelope gets contaminated. So Larry, the private detective, has to go back to square one. So he ends up like finding Dr. Schneeberger's Mercedes-Benz with the vanity plate Schnee in the parking lot.
Cool.
And
If you're a criminal, can I just say avoid vanity plates?
yeah, that's
Like,
probably a
I
bad
really
idea.
feel like
honestly.
criminals need to avoid vanity plates. Like I always thought that, not that I want to commit crimes, but I was always like, wouldn't a vanity plate make it so much easier for you to be
to get
identified?
caught. Yeah,
You know?
1000%.
Like if I had if my vanity plate said Keegs,
yeah.
like
You'd
don't
be
you
like,
think?
That's no, sir, ma'am, no.
Don't you think like I could never get away with fucking anything? Everybody would know.
Exactly. So he breaks into the car and is able to get a tube of chapstick from the car.
That'll also do it.
He
And-
broke into the car though?
That's
yes,
not going to be
he
great
did.
for
I don't know that you're allowed to do
And
that.
so he managed to rub the chapstick on like the plastic part of like the window of an envelope, and they are able to get a DNA sample
No.
from that. It had
Wow.
only been like used like once, but they got enough of a sample, and
Oh,
that's
my lip detritus is all over my chapstick.
yeah.
exactly.
Sometimes I look at it and I'm like, that's
Ugh.
disgusting.
and then you wipe it on the
Yeah,
inside.
100%.
But that DNA matches, and Candy's like, I fucking knew
Told
it.
you.
That's what I've been
Vindicated.
saying. Vindicated. So this is 1996 now.
So
at
it's been
this
4
point.
years.
God damn.
4 fucking years, and she is a pariah.
I have to say,
in
I would
town.
never let up either.
No, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
She is
Till
so
the day I die.
so much of a pariah in Kipling that she ends up moving away from her family. Her family, who does believe her. Her
Obvious,
mom and
yeah.
her
Thank
dad are
God.
like, we fucking.
I hope everyone in
believe
that
her.
town
Yeah.
feels terrible. I was thinking about this, not to derail us, but I was thinking about this with everything that came out with Diddy. And I was like,
Woof.
this is how fucked up it is.
And we
that
haven't
it
even
took
heard all of it.
the
No,
worst
no.
of it.
This
But
is
like,
the tip of the iceberg.
even with,
Tip.
like, it took video evidence.
Yeah.
Cassie had not this Cassie.
Oh, I was like, wait, what?
Cassie Ventura had to release, like, I don't know, she did, someone on her team did, like, video of her being beaten up
Yeah.
by him for people.
I didn't even watch the video.
I didn't either, but I saw
didn't need to
saw
see the video.
stills from
And there are
it, and it
still
was
people who are silent about it, or it's
There's
fucked
nothing to
up.
be
I,
silent about.
I hope all of these people, and same with those people, and of course, like, we all draw opinions based on what we have in front of us, but like, I hope you feel fucking awful. Like when this truth comes out that like this has happened.
I hate to spoil it to you. They fucking don't. They don't. Because,
Great.
I mean, not to get political, but look at what happens when you try to confront a Trump supporter with the actual truth. Whatever, they don't digest it. It's just like,
It's like
it
an
doesn't
abuser.
matter. It's very strange.
It's an
like
abuser.
the cognitive
Well, because
You
dissonance.
can't
you have to
believe.
face. Yeah.
You can't face yourself
Right.
Yeah.
in the mirror.
Well, you have to face something about you that you believed this for so long.
Yeah,
And
you
like,
also
what
have
is
to
that?
face something about yourself that is ugly.
Yes, exactly.
And admitting something about yourself that is that ugly is very difficult.
Right.
It is, but just like, I mean, there's no way. I didn't even watch the video of Cassie. I read the description, which was bad enough, and then I saw the stills from it.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to watch it because I wasn't going to put myself through that.
Well, and I don't think anybody needs to do that.
I don't see how you can see that and then be like, nope, don't want to, nope, no.
His statements now.
Disgusting.
Get fucked.
Get him
bro.
off of my feed.
Get
so
fucked.
gross.
Dude, honestly.
And he never apologized to her. No. By the way.
No. He just is like, it's like,
I can't wait for that man to go down.
And
I cannot wait.
I made mistakes.
He's going to take a lot of people with him.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Goodbye.
Oh, yeah,
Goodbye.
he is.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Bye.
All of them. Everybody who's on Epstein's list.
Anyways, so yeah, she's had to move 150 miles away from her support network with, you know, her kid and just be like, you know, try to make a new life for herself instead of living in a place where like everybody thinks she's a fucking liar. Well, she is finally like vindicated. She's like, yes, okay, the chapstick in his car matches the DNA of my rape kit. Like
Not enough proof.
goes back to the cops and they're like, first of all, you broke into his fucking
Right, it's
car.
illegally obtained. You can't use it.
Yeah, you can't use it. But also, this is weird. And it does match. So let's see. He was so keen to give blood before.
Again, ACAB, but also you have to give props to the
damn,
cops
yeah.
on this because
Yeah.
it's like
Who does that?
for them to say like we can't use this, but that is something that has piqued our interest in this case. So we're going to find something we can use. Is
Yeah, exactly.
Good.
So they're like, okay, we'll try asking him again. Well, he was very irritated, and he's like, the cops are like, this time we'll record it. We'll do everything because this is strange. I can you've got us now. So they videotape. And they have a nurse like taking the blood, and usually what they want to do is take it from the finger. And he said, no, I have a disease that like makes my fingers bruise easily. Please take it from my arm. Like I'm a
bruise.
doctor. I can't lose
have
the
bruised
use
fingies.
of my fingies.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay.
I would love to hear a doctor put it that way.
A very prominent vein or whatever. So she's like trying to take blood from the vein. She's like, that's so weird. Like she really can't get blood from it. She finally gets enough. And then he leaves and she's looking at it and you can see the videotape. She's like,
It's like old blood, right?
blood. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like
She's like-
weird coagulated.
she's like, it just doesn't look right.
Nasty.
It's not the right color. It's not, it's not
this
right.
is so fucking diabolical. Like this person
Imagine.
is so like nefarious. This is a villain. This
Yes.
is a villain.
Yes.
Ew.
And so they're not able to get anything at all from the blood because the blood, like, there's no DNA to get from it. It's so degraded. And then they're trying to figure out
Like,
what
how does he have
happens
degraded
next.
blood in his body?
Exactly. So they're like in the midst
Is
of
he a
trying to fucking
vampire?
figure that shit out.
Right.
When they get a call in April of 1997
Jesus. 5 years.
from Lisa Schneeberger, who's like, I need you to come to my house immediately. My husband has been SAing my daughter. Because the night before she called, her daughter went up to her.
That needed to
And
have a
was
content
like-
warning.
Sorry.
Yes. Sorry. Her daughter had basically pulled her into her room and showed her a used condom wrapper in her bed. And the mom was distraught. She's like, why didn't you tell me sooner? And this is
Wrong
what breaks my
question.
heart.
Wrong question.
She says, you didn't believe Candy, so I didn't think that you would believe me.
Oh, baby. Oh, God.
Which is
that's
the
awful.
saddest fucking thing ever.
So she needed to wait until he got sloppy enough that there was physical proof.
Correct.
That is so
Because she
sad.
did not think that her mom would believe her.
Oh, that is so fucking sad.
Yeah.
Poor thing.
That's sick.
It's diabolical. So Lisa, like, immediately,
what
there's
if you
no...
heard that from your daughter? Like, that would be like so soul crushing.
It'd
Yeah.
be the
You know?
worst.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be the worst.
We're going to therapy together.
Yeah.
Yeah. To Lisa's credit, she had no doubt. She didn't doubt. She immediately was like, "Get the
How
fuck
could you?
out!"
You'd be
to
a
Dr.
I mean, truly,
John.
you're a monster. If you doubt your daughter when she says that specifically to you,
Right.
Please.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So she then searches the whole house and finds a box in his study that has a whole bunch of Versed in it, like syringes, condoms and everything. She's like, she gives it over to the cops, like everything. So they're like, okay, motherfucker. They bring him right in. And this time, instead of taking blood from his arm, they take hair samples. They're
100%.
fucking like poking him everywhere,
I don't give
getting
a
as
fuck
much
about
blood.
your bruisey fingers.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about
Fuck
your
your
fingies.
fingies.
That's right. Fuck your fingies.
And of course, the DNA matches the Candy's rape kit. So there's finally like vindication for her. They end up
I want
going
that
to
whole
trial.
fucking town to come together
Well, they
in a
don't.
parade of I'm sorry. It's like I want a parade of people walking down the street
They're not
just
gonna.
saying I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. I
So
want to
do
be
I.
so sick of the words I'm sorry.
I get so upset when I watch movies and shows like this whenever that doesn't happen, because that's what I want more than anything is I want everyone who doubted to have to like come to terms with the fact that they
You
did
fucked
that.
up,
right.
And like you need to,
You
because
fucked up.
I would never, the way that I would fall at that person's feet if it was me, if I had done that, like the amount of apologies that I would give to someone if I was in that situation, I could not imagine.
But
not.
see, this is what's so fucked up is that does not happen.
I know.
Of course it doesn't.
The people still do not believe and believe so
no,
much.
you're fucking kidding.
Yeah. So his defense at the trial
You're fucking
was that
kidding me.
Candy.
His wife is like, he did this shit.
Yeah, his
So-
wife is like absolutely scorched earth with this motherfucker.
Yeah.
So his defense at trial was that Candy must have been so obsessed with him that she broke into his house, found a used condom, and did this all to set him up.
And the daughter went along with it. Why?
Exactly. Like, why? Why?
How fucking dare you?
And you know, that's so crazy
How
for
fucking
like everyone in
dare
the
you.
town to then like get on his side.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Over
is,
a ch-
is wild
Yeah.
to me. Like you really believe this weird. This is where I land with conspiracy. This is conspiracy theory territory.
Exactly.
Right? Where it's just like you think all these people, that makes more sense to you that all these people were involved, including a child.
He's a piece of
than
shit
the fact
racist.
that like maybe this guy is a predator.
Yeah.
Right? Like insane.
So his defense,
Rapist, I think you meant to say. I think you
Yeah.
said racist.
Oh,
Just wanna-
racist. Yes.
I mean,
Probably racist too.
probably it sounds it would track.
Yeah.
It seems.
But so he said when the cops had come to see him on that morning, he decided that she must be out to get him. So he took a tube, made a slight incision on his bicep right before his elbow, stuck a tube down his fucking arm so that it looked like a vein, and filled it with another patient's blood, which is so
Disgusting.
fucking diabolical.
Diabolical is the word for
This
him.
person is a villain. Like it's like almost
Unbelievable.
unbelievable. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he said he kept vials of it in the clinic with a bunch of anticoagulants in it.
Also, if that's my blood, now I'm pissed. I'm like, why are
Exactly.
you bringing me into it?
Totally.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? And also, too, that's a lot of trust. What if that man was a serial killer?
Yeah.
Honestly.
I'm not kidding. Like,
Yeah.
what if
Yeah.
that guy was actually a fucking criminal?
You're like, actually, his blood is in the system. Your DNA is in the system, and now, now we're arresting you on 20 murders.
Yes, exactly.
He's like, it wasn't me. I swear. You're
He
like,
pulls
okay,
the tube
sure.
out. He's like,
Only
But-
what he deserved.
yeah.
Yeah.
So of course, like the jury's not having it. They're like, no, this is nuts. You're guilty.
Thank God.
So the crimes could come with a maximum sentence of life in prison, but he had so much support from the town. Many supporters that
no.
believed
I'm never
him.
going. Where is it? Kilby?
Saskatchewan.
Oh, I thought they were in
No.
a different city.
Yeah, I think you said it was like
Kilburn.
Yes,
Something?
but Saskatchewan is the province.
right,
Whatever
yeah.
it is.
But it's
And
yeah.
apologies to all of our
I'm not going to go
Saskatchewan.
to fucking
Apologies to all of our Saskatchewan listeners. But listen,
not this city in particular.
But yeah. So he is given 6 years, which
You got to be fucking kidding me. It's already been more than 6 years since
that's
the thing
correct.
happened.
It's been a little over 7 years.
I am going to
since
throw this table across the room. You got to be fucking kidding me. I'd be so
I
mad.
support you in this.
6
For the child,
years.
too.
He was actually acquitted of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
because she snuck in his room and planted that condom,
Christina,
of course.
you have to fucking be kidding.
Yeah, so
No,
of
I'm
course he
not.
was acquitted of that.
I'm
gonna
fucking ill.
Lose
Yeah.
my mind.
Oh, get ready to be even more.
Stop it. I can't.
More angry. Because he is the father of 2 of Lisa's kids, who are the younger siblings of the stepchildren, he has visitation rights.
Oh.
Which, to Saskatchewan's credit, the public was like, actually, we're not cool with that. We're not cool.
That's where the line
How do
is,
you
though?
fucking land there when you're
Right.
you were
I
like
agree.
he's totally innocent and he's fine, he's whatever.
But we don't want him having.
but I don't
We're
know-
going to
but
acquit
actually-
him on these child SA charges.
Yep.
But we don't around
believe
children?
it enough that we don't want him
Fuck-
around kids.
Fuck you.
That doesn't make any fucking sense to
Right.
me.
Fuck you into the ground.
So Lisa's like, no, I'm not going to take the kids to jail to visit
No.
this fucking monster. And they're like, well, then you have a $2,000 fine. She's
gotta
like,
be
well,
fucking
then I'll
kidding
pay
me.
the
I would
$2,000
too.
fine.
I would too. Pay
Yeah.
the money. I'll crowdsource that shit if I have to.
Yeah.
I'm not taking my kids over there.
They kept pushing and kept pushing. They were like, we're going to charge, blah, blah, blah. And so they get to the jail. The kids are so distressed.
Poor babies.
They're so
Fuck you.
upset
Poor
that the
kids.
social worker at the last minute cancels it. And so that they don't have to. And finally, she's able to convince Dr. John to give up his parental rights so that they don't have to worry about that at
Why
all.
he shouldn't?
He is released in 2003 after serving 4 years.
4 years.
4 years. He does not
so
have
he
a
didn't even
medical.
serve his entire
He
sentence.
did not even
That
serve
is-
his whole 6. But Canada was like, hey, remember in 1993 when we made you a citizen and you said on the form that you were not convicted
I
or
forgot he was from South Africa. Wow.
thought of, be a suspect in any crimes and you checked no? Well, that was actually a lie because
Of course it
by
was.
that point he had already been like
Mm-hmm.
accused of this essay of candy. So
Oh,
they're
okay.
like,
I thought it was something else. Got it.
you're fucking deported. And so then he went back to South Africa, where he's from, and he tried to get his medical license there. But they had heard about it because this blew up in Canada, and there were a ton of different programs about it, forensic files. So they called him Dr. Rape there.
Oh,
Whoa.
babe.
Good.
I love
so
it.
he withdrew. He withdrew
Quietly,
his-
he moonwalked out of that room.
He's like,
goodbye.
never mind. And so last heard, he lives with his mother in South Africa. And Lisa still says her biggest regret in life is that she didn't believe Candy
Yeah.
right from the
course.
jump.
But
And
also
I-
difficult. I don't even.
I was gonna
blame
say,
her
I
for
do
this,
know. I
'cause
do know it's hard.
It's tough.
If that's your partner,
if somebody
someone,
came to me and told me Chris did something like that, I'd be like,
I have a feeling Chris and Dr. Rape are very different.
I
people,
agree. I
but
agree. But I
Yeah.
just think that you're in a relationship with somebody. You feel
It's
like
hard.
you know them
I agree.
110%. Like that's a real
agree.
relationship. I mean, you can't.
Well, and it wasn't just
dismiss-
her. You also, even if you had doubts, you have the backing of the entire community.
Yes.
Everyone in the community is
And
reinforcing
the DNA.
Can you
You.
imagine?
Like, why would
Right.
you
You're
ever
like,
think that someone
yeah.
would put a
If
fucking
somebody came to you and said
tube
Eric
in-
did this, and we were all like, "Hell, fucking no, he would never do this,"
Right.
and we're all supporting
and then
you.
the DNA comes back and
And
it's
it
like
doesn't
doesn't match.
match.
You're just like, oh,
Right.
okay.
I
fucking liar.
understand that though. Like I would feel the
But-
same way she feels. Like
Yeah.
that would be there. There's not a
And
day that
kudos
wouldn't
to
go
her
by for feeling like
trusting
that.
her
Yeah,
daughter as soon as she did.
absolutely. But there's
still.
not a day that wouldn't go by that I wouldn't sit there and think about all the signs I missed.
Yeah.
Like that I wouldn't think about
Yep.
the ways that I could have
Yep.
prevented this from happening or
Have you trusted
know,
Candy
resolved
in the
it
beginning?
quickly
He'd
or,
already been in
you know,
jail.
Yeah.
That was what happened to you. Yeah.
Yeah.
1,000 things.
Yeah.
But that is the terrifying story
Jesus.
It's horrible.
of Dr. John Schneeberger, the guy who beat a DNA test.
Cutting your
3
arm
times.
open and sticking a tube in there
Yeah.
of someone else's blood.
Yeah.
Fucking ew.
Yeah. So the Forensic Files episode is Bad Blood. Is the name of it. And
I definitely
yeah.
have seen it.
I-
I have
I've-
definitely.
I've
well, of
seen
course
the
we know the story.
Dateline. I've seen the Dateline. Yeah.
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 It just like infuriated me because like the Forensic Files episode is like short, but it was missing some of those details that like really fucking pissed me off. Like how much like even when there was irrefutable evidence to show like that this person was such a disgusting, devious predator, how people will still like, nope, must be a fucking conspiracy or whatever. And it's just like,
Christ.
What?
I can't imagine
Like, how do
living my
you
life
get
that way.
through?
I really can't imagine living my life that way, where you are so fixed on an idea that you're completely inflexible. That is one thing that I've said about getting older. Like there's a lot of things that I want to try and preserve
okay
as I'm starting to get older. Like obviously like physical stuff, like I'm trying to stay flexible, stay moving so that helps me as I get older. But more than anything else, I want to make sure that my mind is flexible.
That's correct.
Because I
That's
feel
right.
like so many people, that's the issue, is
That's
that like
right.
there's this inflexibility of the mind the older you get.
And there's the thing, it stems a lot from admitting you're wrong.
Yeah.
It's okay to be wrong.
Right.
So much growth in wrong. Being wrong is actually a great thing about life.
And it's okay.
Being wrong sometimes is all right.
It doesn't necessarily say anything really truly it doesn't say anything really truly negative about you that you were wrong initially. What makes it really truly negative is that you continue to hold
Double down
on to
on
it
it.
and
Yeah.
double down on it. Like
Even when you know you're wrong.
even when you know you're wrong, like that is the true problem.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's, that is one thing that I will say. I don't have a lot of good things happening for me, but I can admit when I'm wrong. When I fucked up, I'm like, I've fucked up. I'm
it's
so sorry.
much better for you. It looks better. It
It's
feels
not even
better.
about
It's
looking
like
better, but
everything.
it's better for your own soul.
Yeah.
Yes.
To just be like, you know what? I fucked up on this thing and I am so sorry. I apologize. I'm not sorry. I
100%.
apologize.
100%.
I will eat that. That's
Yes.
me. I did that. It's
Yes.
me. Hi, I'm the problem. But like,
Well, everybody
when
fucks
you
up.
get to
Everybody.
that, but that's the thing. There's a certain point I think with a lot of people where they're just like, I can't be wrong. I can't be wrong.
Yeah.
And it's
I've
just like,
never
what is wrong with
understood
you?
that.
I don't.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah.
At
I've
any rate,
never
I've
understood
never
that
been
either.
more happy to get out of a story and talk about what we're watching.
Okay, yeah, for real.
Seriously.
Well, okay, let me go first, just because like it's a bummer, and like, I would write.
because it's all about me.
It's all about me, you know. Yes, it's everything's about me all the time. No, but I just because it's also a bummer, so I'd rather just get off of it so that we can get into happier stuff.
Okay.
I did finish Baby Reindeer. Listen,
It's not going to be for me.
it's no. I don't know, but like it's a really good show. It's so well written.
I've only heard like snippets too of what is happening in the aftermath.
Yeah.
That really freaks me out.
Yes,
of what
I
is
think
going on with this
the
woman.
person who's who it's based on is suing or something like that. I haven't dug into that, but it's fascinating, and I think it's actually a really interesting look at trauma and at how people handle trauma. It's not a romanticized Hollywood look at it, because healing is not linear, and in the show, it very much isn't. It's like he can't fully figure out how to navigate the ways that he's been traumatized and heal from it in a linear way.
Yeah.
And I think that that's fascinating, and I'm glad that there's media out there that portrays that, because I think that that is more true to life.
Yeah.
But it is hard to watch. I think it's episode 4. I'm going to go ahead and say it is pretty graphic sexual assault violence.
Oh.
Wow.
I mean, you don't see, it's not graphic like visually, but you know everything that's happening, and it's very like if that triggers you in a really serious way, I couldn't look at it at all.
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like him grappling with that and how it affects why what happens with his then like stalker situation. So it's a lot. And it's a lot of trauma. It's very trauma based.
Yeah.
I don't think it's for me. I'm going to say that.
It's very
am
hard.
Not interested.
Yeah, it's great. It's
I
well
understand.
written.
I can
it's a good
appreciate,
show.
and that's
Yeah.
the thing is like I can appreciate that
Yes.
there is good material out there, and that there's good, well written, well
Right.
executed, well
Yeah.
thought out,
Yeah.
made quality things that are existing, but I also have to understand my own personal
100,
boundaries and know when I'm just like, you know what, that's not for me.
Yeah, and it's why I wanted to talk about it. It's why I wanted to put it out there, because I think that I got a different sense of what the show was really going to be like from watching the trailer. Like, you think it's going to be like, yes, of course, it's a stalker situation, which is scary. You know, that's like my biggest fear. Like, so that's scary in and of itself. But I didn't really expect the depths of like
he
digging
doesn't
into
necessarily
trauma.
come out very.
I mean, he's definitely the victim 100%. He is the victim in this story 100%, but it's not clean. It's not like we're so used to seeing victims portrayed one way and the ending of a story being portrayed one way. And that's not what you get here. So it's brilliant, but it's also
tough,
hard to consume. So I don't want people going into it thinking it's going to be one thing and then being all of a sudden thrown for a loop when it's something else. So that's the only reason why I wanted to bring it up. But anyway, we'll get off of all the upsetting stuff.
Yeah. Well, I did finish Bodkin, but I also finished.
So good. By the way, I totally watched it because of you.
And isn't
Fucking
it good?
Binge the shit out of it. It was so good.
Good.
I love
so
it.
glad that you like it. And I love the like inside baseball jokes about
Hilarious.
like podcasting and stuff. It's really funny.
It's good. It was really well done. They did a great job.
Yeah. But I also finished the first 4 episodes of Bridgerton.
So did I. So did we. Because last week we hadn't yet. And we have.
Then I have a fresh FMK for us.
Okay.
Because we've all watched this.
And the episode on an FMK.
Because our good friend from Boobies and Newbies, Kelly, is doing, you know, like
kind of like a March Madness kind of thing.
A very March Madness.
I haven't seen Queen Charlotte yet.
Oh, that is
It's on
so
my
good.
list.
He's not. Yeah. He's hot.
That's
He
what I've
is
heard.
hot.
I heard George is hot.
It's sad.
It is sad. It is sad because it does kind of.
Well, you know where it's going to end.
You know where it's going to end, and you're like, I wish it didn't. I wish it didn't.
Oh,
Yeah.
But
oh my God, how funny. It literally popped up first.
oh, brilliant.
So, so this is
Is that from this season?
This is, I believe, all from this season. And so she has an elimination style. Every day, one person gets eliminated from this.
I know who I want to pick, and I don't know his name.
Okay.
But because I feel like this is not talked about enough, and he is on her list here. I want to talk about the guy who was the bar boxer, who got elevated this season. I don't know his name.
I'm going to look it up.
But
also, like Chick Face's brother that comes into town and is hitting on Violet. I was like, knock the cobwebs off that pussy.
Get in there.
Yes.
I fucking love it. Yes.
Like, I want to know his story.
I don't know why. I don't know why there's tension between him and his sister, but I am here to find out.
Yeah.
It is time Violet
Will
got hers.
Mondrich, and the actor's name. He is hot.
Will
Martin's.
So Mr. Mondrich.
Yeah, he's hot.
Yes. So he's the
Will
okay.
is the character's
Will
name.
Is the character's name. He used to be the boxer. Now their family is now in the ton. They're going to all the things. I think underrated. I think that we don't talk about him enough.
Yeah.
Him and his wife's relationship is sexy.
Yes.
I fucking like it. I think he's hot. So I'm going to choose him.
Okay.
I still on my Anthony kick from season 2.
Of course
I
you
might
are.
go back and watch season 2 again, actually, because it's so fucking hot.
That's the best season so far.
Well, then I'm going for a classic. I'm going Regé Jean.
Regé Jean.
I love the shade that so many people are giving him for being like, oh, you're too good for Bridgerton. What are you busy with now? Because he left Bridgerton to pursue bigger things. So like he was too good for it or something.
Look at that face.
He's really pretty though.
Sorry.
He is
He's
very
a pretty man. Somehow he ended up on like number 15 or something on the UK's top men poll.
That has got to be
15.
fake.
Like
that
low.
has got
He's,
to
like,
be
not
fake.
high.
Because the number one
reverse.
person was that like ugly
Mel Gibson
Jeremy
lookalike.
something.
Jeremy Clarkson.
Who looks like a criminal photo of Mel Gibson.
So bad.
Okay. All right. So these three, we've got what was his name on the show? Regé Jean. It's
Prince or
the Duke.
Okay, we'll just call him the Duke. So we've got the Duke, we've
Will.
got Anthony, and we've got
Mr. Mondrich.
Mr. Mondrich. Oh,
This is tough.
Oh, I'm
actually
marrying
tough.
Anthony. Do you know like all the paperwork that we'd have to do together?
Oh
is-
my God, yes.
Oh,
This
gross.
is the right.
You just turned me off of that immediately.
You are
I'm like,
so
never mind.
perfect.
No,
We
for
have to
him.
run the estate
I don't-
together? Are you kidding me?
Perfect.
Honestly, you're
Perfect.
so happy. I
Perfect.
don't want that. I don't want
almost, you almost kind of remind me of that girl too. It's kind of perfect.
that. No, she's a Capricorn for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
no
yeah,
way
yeah,
she's
yeah.
not.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
No.
Yeah, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm living my dream life.
Yeah.
I constantly have like
Yeah.
things I have to accomplish and do and
Yeah.
chores and everything. I love it. Love it. And then I have got to, I got to fuck Mr. Mondrich.
You gotta
I'm
do
sorry.
it. I know.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
with
yeah,
you on
yeah.
that.
Reggie
I'm
John
actually-
is
He's gonna
really
lay it down.
hot, but Mr.
But he's gonna fucking
Mondrich-
lay it down.
He's gonna
He is gonna
lay,
lay it
pipe
down.
for real.
Yes.
I'm gonna marry Mr.
I'm sorry,
Mondrich. I
did you-
think.
One back.
Yeah.
Did you say lay
Yes.
pipe?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I did, and I think it applies in this
And
situation.
you're like, I'm
Yeah.
standing by
it does, doesn't it? Because I
Yeah,
normally
listen.
wouldn't use that wording, but I'm like, actually, with this
listen.
guy, that is what.
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
pipe is being laid, and it is
Yes.
being laid good.
So hard.
Okay. So
hard.
I'm not apologizing.
Yes.
I am gonna marry him. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna marry him.
I like this.
Yeah.
There's
for you.
something about his energy that I vibe with. And I actually, it could have been between him or Anthony, honestly, but well, all three of them.
I really do like
great.
the fact that he's like, I still
I wanna
need
work.
something
I want
to
something to
And I
do.
really like the club and I like what we
Also,
built.
Yeah.
And I like that.
he moved on up. He likes this life.
Yeah.
But he's also like, what this life affords us is the ability to do whatever the fuck we want. Like that's what we should be doing now. We should be enjoying our lives and doing what we want to do.
Yeah.
And I kind of love that.
God, this is tough.
It's really tough, but I think I'm gonna fuck Anthony actually.
wow.
I know, because Reggie Jean is so hot that it is
damn, he's
it is
hot.
a really difficult thing because you look at him and he's so hot. However, if I go back to his season, I know he's worked through a lot of his daddy issues, but
But the
He
yeet.
holds back.
when I look at the two, because you get to see them both fuck,
Yeah.
and if I have to see who I would want to fuck more,
Dude, Anthony was downtown like a couple of times in the first four
Immediately.
He was like,
Yeah.
yes, and like there is. And he's got,
Yeah.
there's an energy to him that I'm just like, he fucks good.
Yeah.
And
You
you
fuck
can
good.
tell.
Yeah.
And you can tell. And doesn't have those same kind of hang-ups. He's not, pulling out, coming on the sheet sitting
Yeah.
situation.
Yeah.
Although I might want that
Yeah.
because no kids. But,
Yeah.
like,
Eat machine.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It does
yes,
ruin a
it's gonna-
moment though.
Yeah, right.
it
Yeah, you're
does.
in it. You're in it. You don't want him
Yeah.
to be like preoccupied mentally somewhere else. So
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
Right.
that's what I'm gonna do. Reggie Jean though, of the three, if we're just talking hotness
Hot.
levels, he might be
Right.
the hottest of
That's
the three
correct.
of them.
You're right.
Yes.
Doesn't mean
I wouldn't. Doesn't mean I'd kick him
No,
out of bed.
yeah.
Fucking
I'm
ever.
like, okay,
Yeah.
Let's not be silly.
I could be a duchess.
Oh man, I am torn. I also don't want kids, so I'm actually okay with the yeeting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna marry the Duke.
I like that.
I
I actually love that for you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeet away.
He's a little spicy. Like they do it on the in the library and all over the place. I like that.
Yeah. He's he
good.
can yeet away. I am gonna also, god damn, this is
Hard.
This is
Those
tough.
two are actually, I bet they both
fuck good.
really fuck well. Yeah.
I'm a fuck Will.
Oh, I love it.
I want to
I
fuck
love
Will.
it.
Will's
I
gonna
love
lay
it.
it down. Will doesn't have anything to prove.
No.
Will is gonna just do it because it's good.
'Cause he wants
Because he
to.
wants to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's gonna be good.
Yeah. 100%. I like that we all did something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
good.
All right. I love
It
this
all
for
makes
us.
sense. Well, hey, if you've got an FMK for us, if you've got something we should watch, if you have a terrible date story, go to our one-stop shop of a website. It's myworstdatepodcast.com. And we love you so much.
Cheers.